All right. There is only one thing I love more than I love BJP or loving BJP. It's going to funerals because I put fun in the funeral. And today, all three of us, Gav, DK, and Barmy Army member, we're just coming from Test Cricket's funeral. It's just dead because Quinton de Kock changed his name to Quitting de Kock. And de Kock, that's the word he should have been changing because that's the one which is inappropriate. Um, Tonight's heroes, we'll be having two podcasts. One is for cricket, one is for football. Both the heroes, today's heroes are Quinton de Kock and Romelu Lukaku. For nothing they've done on field, for everything they're doing off field. Let's start with cricket. Quinton de Kock, other day, this guy is 29 years old, fit as a horse. He could have played for another 10, 11, 12 years. Retires from Test cricket and commits to out of nowhere and commits to right now, right when he's retiring for Test cricket. That's exactly when he's saying, "Okay, I'm divorcing Test cricket, but I love short formats. See you in the white ball cricket, T20, 100, one day international, everywhere." Now, red ball. I want to give this analogy to both of you. Red ball cricket and white ball cricket is a lot similar to acting in theater and acting in movies. Theater is fulfilling, but it doesn't pay. All your children die because they don't have any food, and it's bloody difficult. It also tests your acting skills because most people can't even do it. Movies are easy and they pay shitloads. Now, why on earth would anybody want to play five of them, five-day test matches where you have with every match lasts 450 overs for example, in Ashes, when they can get all the cashes within 20 overs in T20 matches and even less. Now England has the 100. No wonder after the 100 came in, people like, oh, 100, 100. We don't want to bowl 100. That's only 100 balls. In Test cricket, every day you have to bowl 90 overs for 5 days, 450 overs. Now, this is my theory that right now it just doesn't make any sense, like theater doesn't make any sense for people to play Test cricket apart from, and I'm already talked to Bikram that once Kohli also goes, India is also going to go down the drain. I think Australia can play cricket with itself for the rest of the eternity. I think the next 10 years, is it too much for me to say that Test cricket is going to be dead in the next 10 years, even if I'm saying 10 years, because like it's just too difficult and we already have no talent for it. Look at South Africa. We'll come back to South Africa, but just your view on this Test cricket situation right now that we're facing in 2022. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Good to see you. See you all. I think I unfortunately we are starting on a gloomy subject in the new year, but it is we have to do something about it so we can talk. In my mind, I think all is not lost. To me, there is an audience for Test cricket. What is being squeezed out, or what is being kind of losing out, is one day cricket. There is definitely commercial riches in the 2020 100 whatever format you want to call it, franchise leagues, all those things. There is a big audience for Test cricket. If you notice test matches in Australia and England, most grounds are full. They have full attendance, and so there, I believe there is a strong audience for Test cricket, and it's just a matter of England doing well, and then there you will have three, in fact, four healthy Test playing nations, right? England, Australia, New Zealand, and India. Unfortunately, people don't even mention New Zealand, but they are a good Test playing nation, right?
And they are the
So
Test
you have,
champions.
yeah, they are the Test champions. So there are these four, and then you have the tier two, which is like not the big four. It is like Pakistan, South Africa, West Indies, to some extent Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, right? It's I think what needs to happen is, you're right. I think your analogy of theater versus movies was very apt. It doesn't pay as much, but so boards and ICC have to find some commercial model where they incentivize people to play Test cricket. A forward defense is not as valued as a reverse lap sweep or whatever people are playing these days. But there has to be some way where commercially it becomes viable for players to play and play Test cricket as the sole format. But I'm optimistic. I don't think Test cricket will die. Unfortunately, more and more players will probably choose the shorter format. They will be the quote unquote hitman who will just go and play franchise cricket everywhere and make money. But I think there will be some purists around the world in every country who will keep the format alive.
Oh, I agree with that part. But also, you have to understand you're talking about marquee series. Ashes is played every 2 years. Okay, it doesn't happen all the time. India goes to Australia every 2 years. But when teams become so poor, if there's only just one or two teams left, it starts losing its sheen. Because now, when we are in South Africa, I mean, you've known that even in India, we don't. Whenever test matches are happening, we don't get anybody in the stadiums. It is ridiculous. Like in India, people are not showing up. So we know, as we have talked about, that India, like entire country, is fan of cricket. But I think we're realizing we're not fan of real cricket. I think it's fan of entertainment cricket more and more. Until the last century, we had real fans. People would have showed up. We are getting less and less people going up for the test matches. Also, after we bowl 90 overs, after we bowl 450 overs, they only come back to tell you that your 100% match fee has been taken away. That doesn't help, right? That doesn't help. And in T20, they give you 2 hours, you can take 3 hours, you still like, oh, keep playing, it's perfectly fine, it's perfectly normal. So, Vikram, your view on this thing, that what is the future of Test cricket? Yes, there will be these marquee series which will make 300 million. Right now, Ashes making the Cricket Australia, and that will keep happening. England is still the best place to play Test cricket because it's just amazing. Even Australia is number two. I don't count India, but New Zealand is still there. And if South Africa can really have the right team and have the right pitches, I still feel completely amazing. It's only the places where there going to be draw matches going to be drawn. Batsmen going to make 300s. That was happening in Sri Lanka. Remember those 700 run partnerships that Sri Lankans used to make in 1997 against India. And India, where the pitches spin like crazy. Like there's this much cracks. Like Rishabh Pant actually fell in one of the cracks. Only like he was too fast, he kind of got stuck in there. But we can't have. That's one of the reasons Yuzvendra Chahal is not playing, because the cracks are so big. They're fearing that he might actually just fall inside one of those cracks. All right. Vikram, your opinion on that, and Quinton de Kock.
I don't think. See, I don't. Okay, there are a lot of things to say, but I'll start with. I don't think Test cricket is going to die. Obviously, it has lost its sheen. A lot of good teams who were very good in Test cricket, like Sri Lanka was very good, West Indies. So all those teams have don't have players, but I see a pattern, and I saw this in the second innings of India versus South Africa Test match. I see that people who don't want to play Test cricket, they will eventually, like Quinton de Kock, quit or not, not be available for Test cricket. But there'll be still a lot of players who will be passionate. I know we have given a lot of shit to Babuma, and he might not be the most gifted player, but I saw, like, this is the first time where I saw him bat the whole innings, and other players like Van Dusen and Elgar. So I think teams will always find people who will be willing to do the hard grind and play Test cricket, because not everyone is capable of playing T20 cricket. That's also there, because there are a lot of players who never get picked in IPL. So I don't think, it will definitely reduce. I think it will become like rugby somehow, that there'll be these 4 or 5 teams who play with each other everywhere, and these are the only teams who will win World Cups and all that. So, but I think there'll still be a lot of following for them, and I don't believe that India is a bad place to play Test cricket. It's just that they should be playing in big centers, not in Kanpur, not in some Ranchi or some place. Because if you see the second Test match, which was played in Mumbai, there was a lot of crowds and they were very supportive. They even cheered for New Zealand players. So there are knowledgeable crowds in big cities. So I think Virat Kohli said this before also, that all the Test matches should be played in only traditional grounds where Test cricket has been played from long time. So that's there. But I don't feel that it will die. But yeah, it will become like a niche kind of sports, which is like rugby.
Okay, so this section, the Test cricket section, is going to become niche. I think it already is niche. I'm just kind of worried that it will start being extinct. I still maintain my point. India is not a good place to play Test cricket, because we still keep making pitches which only make everybody their bitches. Anybody comes in, just takes wickets. And I still have a massive problem with that. And I'll always have a problem with that, because India can make better pitches and still win. We are that good. We need to have
Right.
a bit more faith in ourselves. Because
That's
people are not playing.
that
Virat Kohli
I
not
think
playing.
now.
Bumrah is not playing ever. There's a reason for that. We need to
Right,
have
right, right.
all our fast bowlers application. We cannot be playing any spinner and taking 8-9 because Akshar Patel, people keep talking about Ahmedabad. Everybody getting destroyed on that. But we don't have so much time, so I can't get it. Like, if you want 1 minute, I can give you, but we need to move on also. I know you want to say something.
No. Yeah, I mean that I agree that pitches needs to be better. It should not, and it applies for all the countries. Because I was listening to that podcast, BBC podcast, where they were discussing about the third test loss, and they were saying that the one of the reason why England is shit, or they are not able to find test quality test players, is because their domestic pitches are so bad that even people who bowl like 110, 120, they are taking 7 8 wickets. So eventually that degrades the quality of players, and we don't want to have that. So yeah, I agree that the pitches in Indian test matches need to be better. Yeah.
Exactly. The way England is fucking up in domestic cricket, India is fucking up international cricket. Because India can make better pitches because India is that good. We should be able to beat these fuckers. Nobody should be able to pinpoint to an India that's like, oh, you just made all spinner friendly wickets. And they are not wrong. Just because we keep shouting that is perfectly fine, it's not perfectly fine. One more point I'll make, and I'll move on from there. That you were saying that it will niche, but I think Lal, you also talking about it. Then it should be like our manager, because the manager in cricket is no big deal, right? It's just somebody who's like a yes man. That's what we call them, a chamcha and all these things, or just somebody who sits back. Somebody used to be like Conte, that dude, if you're not going to play test cricket, don't tell me 6 months later. Don't tell me 2 years later. Okay. You either you play or you get the fuck out of here. Okay. Quinton de Kock
Right.
cannot be playing test cricket for 5-6 years in and out. Then they say, I'm out. No. This is bullshit because you cock block somebody else's plays. As you said,
Correct.
there are people, both of you agree, right? Then we cannot have this guy's name is Cock. So cock blocking Quinton de Kock, I don't know, it cannot be anything more hilarious than that. So we cannot have, if we don't have those people who are going to quit in middle, then we have only the players who want to play, so that we can give them time. We can't have somebody saying after 2 years, after 6 months, and then taking a break from test cricket, or they want to be rotated, they want to have take care of his children, they want to go out with their girlfriends. Dude, say yes or say no. Because, like, for example, for such a long time, Moeen Ali kept doing like tingly dangly, like, nah, they just like quit. We don't want players like Moeen Ali. Whatever he says, whatever is done to him, but we don't want Moeen Ali's. As simple as that. We don't want Quinton de Kock. No matter how good he is, he just wasted somebody else's time. And as you said, Bumrah, if he's the real deal, let's give him space. We have given him a lot of brick bats, but give him a real space. But let's not extend this to Ajinkya Rahane. Okay, it is going too far. It's going too far. I'll say something and then I'll move on to the next question. There are a lot of people who are asking for an instant swap, like right now, after the third match, the fourth and fifth test match, it will be between India and Australia, and England will go to South Africa. So it'll be soft versus softer and hard versus really hard. So that's what people are asking, because it just probably will make more sense, right? It'll just make more sense. It's just not happening for these people. Now, Lal, India is most likely for the first time going to win a series in South Africa. It has never ever happened before, but will it really matter? This South African team is weak as fuck. Quinton de Kock just dropped off from the entire test arena. I don't know what that will do to them. I won't be surprised if Rabada announces at the end of second test that I'm moving to Kolpak. I'm done.
That is cancelled, by the way.
Kolpak.
Kolpak is cancelled.
Kolpak is
All the
Kolpak is
players
Oh,
have,
thank God.
all the players
Thank
have
God.
come back. There was a guy called Oliver who was really a very good fast bowler.
Yeah.
He has come back. He is in the South African team.
But he has some COVID or something, or some injury or something. I don't know. So he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I want South African team to be solid. Remember when they came back from the apartheid, and they were like, my God, who are these people? Like, it was so amazing. South Africa is good. Cricket is good. I love South African. But right now, I think everybody's just fighting. So just a little bit of opinion, but I think you kind of already answered that way. But Lal, you're also positive on this one.
It will,
Optimistic
I
for
think.
South Africa.
Yeah, I think it will matter. No matter what you say, whether the team is good, bad, ugly, winning a test match and winning a test series abroad will matter for sure. The biggest thing that I like about Kohli is that he prioritizes test cricket, right? And that makes a hell of a lot of difference when your best player, arguably the most marketable player, endorses test cricket. And winning in South Africa, like in the same cycle where you've won in Australia and almost kind of won in England, to add to that, South Africa is a really big deal. And it's unfortunate that de Kock decided in the middle of the series. I wish, he could have at least completed the series. Like, I mean, I don't know what got into him. I mean, maybe we don't know. Maybe I think he's expecting his first child or something. I'm not
Oh,
sure
he was
what.
never going to
What?
play. Just to let you know, you're not following, but he was never going to play
Yeah,
the
he
second and third
was
test.
he was going away after the
That was
first
already
test match.
decided. He said like, I'll just drop the ball completely. That's what happened.
Yeah, but anyways, coming back, I think it does matter, and I wish South Africa becomes stronger. And as a last resort, if ICC thinks Test cricket, needs to be recharged and boosted, get an India Pakistan series going on. It's
Great
been
idea.
15 years or 20 years since we last played against Pakistan. No matter what the quality of cricket, it always brings eyeballs, right?
Yeah, 3 match. Start with 3 match. I mean, I can't expect 5 match series between these people, but 3 match should be
Yeah.
good. Vikram, do you have anything to say on this one? I think we lost Vikram. Okay, I'm going to move on once he comes back. I can see his picture. So now, where are England's balls? By the way, I don't know if you guys followed, and I hope Vikram can actually put that clip here. They asked Zach Crawley Zach Crawley said, I know how to tackle Australia now in the fourth match. That means he already knows he's been getting picked, or he's just like, he's just imagining that he's getting picked. And he said, not fearing the Australian bowlers. Okay.
Okay,
That
I'm
is
back,
a
I'm
good
back.
technique. All right, you're back. So Zach Crawley said, by not fearing the Australian bowlers. Oh my God, this is amazing. And I don't know, Bikram, you can later on put David Warner. David Warner, they're not just, sometimes the opposition sometimes tells like, we can do this, we can do this. David Warner elaborately told point by point exactly what England needs to do to beat them, to get him out, all the players out, and how to bowl. I mean, this is amazing. How bad can England be that this guy is literally telling them? And he was serious. He was saying, okay, do this, pitch the ball right here, and do exactly what this guy was doing. Follow this thing. Unbelievable. Like, you will tell them the exact plan and they'll still fuck up. That's
Yeah.
something, man. That's just something.
You,
Where
you
are
know, you know
England's
that.
balls? And do you think England can win actually a match here now that Australia has nothing to win or England has nothing to lose?
Yeah, I think the
Perfect.
reason for that is I think Australia is not enjoying this victory as much because it's like you're kicking a dog which is already dead, right? I mean, if you win a series, you need to, like, you should feel like you've won a fight. This is like too one-sided. You don't feel like, if you maul, like, let's say Netherlands in a test series, it's not the same value, right? I mean, you don't feel as much pride and joy as you beat like a tough series, a competitive, opponent. I think Australia wants England to fight a little. Don't get me wrong, they want to bloody humiliate England and win 5-0, but at least
They
they
have
want
already
England to show
humiliated
some.
them.
Yeah,
That
they,
will be
they
the
want England to show some fight, right? Which is, and I heard Travis had got COVID,
yeah,
and
he's out.
now someone. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
Quadra or somebody was out.
Australia is trying to manufacture interest in the series, trying to get England to, like, get closer by any means possible. But I don't see any hope. The best case scenario is a draw. I think I said it earlier at the beginning of the Ashes, is the best scoreline that England could probably predict is 4-0 now. Earlier I said 4-1, like they can eke out a win somewhere here or there
What
because
was
of
the
a
prediction?
fragile
4-1.
Australia.
And what did you
4-1,
say?
yeah.
You say Barmy Army? What
Yeah,
was
I
your
said
prediction?
5-0.
Oh, you also sticking with me 5-0. We're both 5-0. So what do you have to say? Like, do you think they can actually
See,
eke out a victory, a draw, or something? Because see, there won't be a draw at Hobart. Okay, that's a pink ball. It's going to happen. Sydney, I know it's a drop-in pitch, but just the way Melbourne pitch has improved so much, it will be very difficult to get a draw. But then
no,
they got
yeah.
nothing to lose.
No, I think you keep saying this, that Australia doesn't have, like, they already won the series, so their intensity might drop off. But you're forgetting that this is not just about Ashes; it's also about WTC, and each match matter in that case. And it's again it's England; they don't even need WTC. Any match against England, even if they have lost 10-0, they'll still want to beat them in the 11th match. So I don't
They've
think they
lost.
have enough.
Yeah.
They have enough
England have not won a
motivation.
test match in 10 years there. They've lost 12 out of
Right,
13 matches and one was a draw.
right. So
They haven't won.
there is enough motivation. There is definitely enough motivation for Australia to go harder. In fact, they don't have anything to lose now. Like, they can be more experimental. They can be more like out of the box and stuff. So I don't really see England coming back into this series.
All right. So again, that's about it. So I'm sticking to 5-0. You're sticking to 5-0. You're sticking to 4-0. 4-0.
4-0. I'll revise my 4-1 to 4-0.
4-0. 1 is not going to happen. You're like, oh, that's already too much wishful thinking. Also, okay, that's all from the cricketing world.
So
or the
yeah,
quilting world. Yeah, you still have something to say. Please go
yeah,
on.
South Africa. Actually, I would say that people are thinking that they will win easily, but I somehow feel that it will be difficult for India to win from now on, because I think they gave us a good fight in the second innings. I know they eventually folded out very cheaply, but till some time they were actually troubling the Indian players, the Indian team, and they actually made how much? I think 190,
191
160. At
something.
I think 160, they were at 5 wickets, and there was some talk that okay, if De Kock plays well and he was scoring, quickly, then they could even make those runs. So I know that people are saying that it's a weak side and all that, but I see that there are some players who are who are very passionate about it. In fact, Babuma said that it's not like we are not a good side. We are playing after a long time. We don't have any kind of preparation, or we haven't played Test cricket from long time, which also makes sense because no one toured them. So I feel that the next test match, which is tomorrow, it will be a close affair. I don't know. There is some weather forecast and stuff again, so that might change. But it was just fortunate that Kohli won the toss, because on the first day there was not much was happening, and we made a lot of a good score, and that actually put us ahead. So I won't write off this South African team. Yes, they are short in confidence and match practice and everything, but I still believe that they'll give a good fight to India, and I still stick with my 2-1 score line. I don't think it will be a
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah, I don't never buy this. We don't play cricket. Like, what that nonsense? Like, if you play too much, then it says too much. England is playing too much. India never plays any cricket. I mean, I don't buy that argument. That's just stupid. But I totally agree. If they give helpful pitches for the bowlers, there will be results, and one of them can actually go South Africa. If South Africa wins the next match, I won't be surprised South Africa comes back and wins it. I'm just saying you can't rule it out. You can't just rule it out. There's a reason
Right,
why India has
and
never won there. Maybe it can unite the South African
right,
team.
right,
Whatever just
and
happened, and they can
and the
now
thing
get
is,
their. Hmm.
and the thing is, this is where Kohli also matters, because he doesn't only win the match. He actually, he will, his team will bully you. They will, say things on the pitch. So that sometimes also, makes the opposition go harder. Like, okay, why is he, why is he saying something like? Because I saw a lot of times. I think when Maharaj got bowled at the last ball of the innings, and Bumrah just turned around and stared at Elgar. So all those kind of things, that's the intensity, right? If there was some like, okay, you're just winning, we are just being nice guys. So sometimes the intensity drops off from the opposite team also. So those things also matter. I feel I just have this feeling that in the second test match they'll come hard at us.
All right,
So that's
so
all.
let's just say sticking to 1. I had actually predicted 3-0 for South Africa, but I was just half joking for that. But this is not looking good for South Africa. But let's not rule it out. They can still come back. So that's about it from our end. So that's BK and ex-Army Barmy member about the cricket. So now, like and subscribe if you want to. See you next time. We'll be moving on to football. The podcast will be right there if you just click on this one as well. See you next time.